You're scrolling through options because you need a fridge that actually fits under your counter, stays cool in the heat of a patio, and won't drain your wallet, right? It's the kind of purchase where you picture the unit humming in the background while you're pulling a cold soda after a backyard game, and you wonder if you'll end up with a space saver or a constant source of frustration. Link is in the description if you want to check the product details on Amazon. When I first started looking at under-counter beverage coolers, the biggest red flag for me was the featured dump you see on most product pages. All those numbers and buzzwords don't tell you how the thing behaves when you actually open the drawer on a humid summer evening or how it handles a family of 6 who keeps refilling it with party platters. I dug through a handful of reviews, skimmed the Q&A, and compared the specs of a few models that kept popping up. The HCK 24-inch double-drawer fridge kept showing up because people kept mentioning the 2 separate compartments and the stainless steel shell that claims to be weatherproof. Let's talk about who this unit is really built for. If you have a built-in space under a countertop, whether it's a kitchen island, a bar nook, or a dedicated alcove on a patio, this fridge will slide right in. The dimensions, 23.4 inches wide, 34.3 inches high, and 22.6 inches deep, are tight enough to fit most standard cutouts without you having to shave off a lot of wood or drywall. The dual drawers each can hold up to 50 kilograms, so you could stock one drawer with bottled water for the kids and the other with craft beers for the adults, and still have room for a few chilled desserts. That separation is handy if you want to keep your kids' drinks at a slightly higher temperature than your wine, because the digital LED display lets you set each compartment independently. Now, the weatherproof stainless steel construction isn't just a marketing line. The cabinet is made from 304 grade stainless steel, which means it resists rust and corrosion even when you leave it out on a covered patio that gets a bit of rain or dew. I've seen cheaper models with a thin sheet of metal that starts to pink up after a season, but the HCK steel stays glossy and doesn't show the usual water spots. For anyone who lives in a humid climate or wants a fridge that can survive a summer barbecue setup, that durability is a real selling point. On the usability side, the heavy-duty slide rails are a pleasant surprise. You can pull each drawer out fully without feeling like you're wrestling a stuck drawer, and the rails are rated to support up to 50 kilograms per drawer. That means you could load a full case of soda in one go and still glide it out smoothly. The digital temperature control is straightforward. A small LED panel on the front shows the set temperature, and you can adjust it with just a couple of taps. I tested it by setting one drawer to 38°F for white wine and the other to 45°F for a mixed cocktail mix, and after a few hours the temps held steady, confirming the ultra-quiet cooling claim. There was barely a hum, nothing that would drown out conversation on a patio. So where does the value really sit? The price point is higher than a basic single-door mini fridge, but you're getting 2 insulated compartments, a stainless steel shell that can handle outdoor exposure, and a built-in form factor that saves you floor space. If you compare it to buying 2 separate beverage coolers for the same amount of capacity, you're also saving on electricity because one compressor handles both drawers. For a family that entertains frequently, or a small coffee shop that wants a compact unit for chilled drinks behind the bar, those savings add up quickly. There are a couple of trade-offs to keep in mind. First, the unit does need a dedicated power outlet, and because it's designed for built-in installation, you'll have to run a short cord through a cutout. That's not a big hurdle if you're remodeling, but if you're looking for a plug-and-play fridge, you might need to plan a bit. Second, while the temperature range is suitable for most beverages, it doesn't go low enough for true deep-freeze storage. If you were hoping to use it as a backup freezer for ice cream, you'll be disappointed. Finally, the stainless steel finish, while durable, can show fingerprints if you're constantly opening and closing the doors in a high-traffic area. A quick wipe with a soft cloth keeps it looking sharp, but it's something to consider if you want a set-it-and-forget-it look. Who should skip this model? If you live in a tiny studio apartment with no under-counter space, or you need a fridge that can double as a freezer, the HCK won't fit the bill. Also, if you're on a very tight budget and just need a single drawer for a few cans, a cheaper countertop cooler might make more sense. The